Greetings and welcome back, or because of this episode, should I be saying hello, hello, hello? I am Garrett Weinzerl, and with me as always is Jocelyn and Dills, and we're here for our first ever Brawl episode. If you haven't been keeping up, or if you're not a patron, you might be slightly confused, but we had a goal on the Patreon that we hit to do a new, shorter episode once a week on Thursday about whatever the Brawl happens to be for that week. And lucky us, guys, we don't have to launch this new episode on a repeat week.
Yeah, that would really suck. If it was spiders everywhere again, or even the portals, as fun as that is, would still be like a rehash. But we got something brand new. Annoy-o-Tron versus Boombots. Yeah, it is pretty epic, actually. So Blizzard must have been listening in, right?
Oh, you know,
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I think we are to blame for everything good that happens in Hearthstone.
Oh yeah,
but none of the bad. None of the bad.
None of the bad.
The bad.
None.
We had nothing to do with patrons.
Not our fault.
Nothing to do
with patrons. No, we really didn't. Go back to like the early days when they got previewed, and we were like, man, this card seems fun, but I don't think it's gonna go very far. Boy, were we wrong, and everyone else on the internet.
So
Everybody was wrong.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, we were so wrong. What has science
done? New
done?
Thing, right? Like every expansion, there's going to be a card everyone's wrong about, and that's, I think, really cool, though. Like, to be honest,
I think so too.
We can't read, like, nobody can figure it out until we actually play these cards.
No, we can't. No, we cannot. But yeah, so we're here to talk about this week's Brawl, and it is Boombot versus Annoy-o-Tron, which I saw it and I'm like, okay, cool. Two cards in Hearthstone that I'm quite fond of. I really like. I mean, how many Annoy-o-Tron jokes have been made on this show? We're pretty fond of Annoy-o-Tron on the over
He's
here
in the
at
intro.
Chicken.
Yeah.
He is. He is. Oh man, should have just real quick went and edited in just one little Boombot sound.
Well, what I can't really tell. What is the emote the Boombot is making? Actually, it's like, what is it? Because you know, like Annoy-o-Tron's. Is it like just some little weird bomb sound? There's nothing.
I want to say that that's its noise when it attacks, and
it kind of sounds like clicking, kind of like gears.
But it's not. Yeah. There's nothing really to it. It just kind of blends in with the rest of the sound. Yeah. So the Annoy-o-Tron is so over the top and loud, and by the way,
amazing.
He does it every time you think about your turn for a while. Every time you use any emote. It's hello, 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 and
well, let me.
So it's just happening constantly.
Well, let me. Let's figure this out, because through the glory of Hearthhead, who has all of the emotes, I've got the Boombot card up, and I'm pretty sure it's just maybe when you attack with it. But this is the play.
There's no play sound.
There is a play sound. There is a play.
Yeah, because when they spawn off Boom, yeah.
Oh, I guess when you like bounce them back in your hand.
Or you could bounce them back in your hand and play them from your hand. Anyway, this is the play sound. That's definitely not it.
No, that's not it. That could be it.
I think that's it. That's the attack sound, and then the death sound is probably not it either. But this is the death sound. Well, maybe that is it. So it's either attack or death. It's one of those two.
Must be
I think
attack,
it's attack.
yeah.
It's got to be the attack one, because that's like it's short. It doesn't really, you don't really notice that it's happening, like, comparatively to the Annoy-o-Tron.
That's the fun of the Annoy-o-Tron, though. That you are annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when it comes down to it, if you're just comparing these guys on emotes, I mean, Annoy-o-Tron wins. He has the best emotes. All of the emotes, by the way, if you haven't gotten in and played this, are the same no matter what you hit. For Annoy-o-Tron, it's hello, 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 and for the Boombot, it's that weird gear grinding sound, and that's it. Other than that, the bubble says what they're doing in brackets, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you guys, but that was the thing I was the most excited about upon spawning into this, because I read what the Brawl was, and I'm like, oh, cool. I just assumed it was going to be pre-made decks that had a bunch of Annoy-o-Trons and Boombots in it. But so I got in, and much to my surprise, oh no, I am Annoy-o-Tron, or I am Boombot. And then immediately, instead of worrying about what my hand is and how to play the game, I just immediately started spamming emotes because I wanted to see what it did.
Yeah, you got to try them all. But it's a little awkward having Annoy-o-Tron and Boombot lead these armies of mechs, because they are the least powerful of the mechs. Like you're Annoy-o-Tron, and you're controlling some of the big like baddie mechs, you know, and it's weird, but it's really cool. I like the decks. I think they're pretty fun. I think that I got bored after 5 games, though. I don't know about you guys. Was that your experience?
Well, a little bit. I kept spawning in as Boombot. It took me forever to actually get to play as Annoy-o-Tron, and then I just got to make confetti everywhere, and then it like revitalized the Brawl for me because I was just like, poof, confetti, poof, confetti.
See,
still having fun.
That surprises the hell out of me, and now I wish I kept better track of my games because I want to say I played about 10 games, and I want to say it swapped for me every single time I played.
Oh no, I was like Boombot, 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 and I was like, this is cool because I love throwing bombs everywhere too. Like they both have super fun hero powers, but I was just like, oh, my Annoy-o-Tron is right there. Just let me try him once.
Yeah, no,
I played as both of them a bunch of times too. I think it was back and forth for me as well, but I definitely distinctly felt one was stronger than the other. I don't know if you guys had the same feeling.
I felt that Annoy-o-Tron was the strongest.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought
Boombot
Boombot was strong. Yeah.
Really?
I won more often with Boombot.
I think I've seen like people who've said, "Oh my God, Annoy-o-Tron's so OP. Oh my God, Boombot's so OP," which to me says Blizzard did a pretty good job of balancing this.
This happens every time, right?
Yeah.
So really, it
but
was
like
just
when it was, when it was Rag and Nefarian, it was like, oh no, one is way more powerful than the other, and pretty much everyone agreed.
Everyone was on the same page with that one, but this one, I have seen different sentiments across the internet, and I've had better luck with Annoy-o-Tron. I definitely prefer playing Annoy-o-Tron's deck, and I don't know why. I think it's just because I like Annoy-o-Tron more. And Dills, you said that you got bored after 5 games, and I definitely started to get bored with it too. I feel like I probably got bored slightly slower just because of the flavor of it. I just thought it was ridiculous, and I was having much like Jocelyn. Apparently, I like shiny things too because I was popping confetti everywhere and having a good time.
Normally, I just play it to get my card, my pack, and then I'm like, cool, done. This one actually did get me to queue up a bunch more times. So I did end up playing the whole thing about 7 or 8 times, which is way more than I usually play. And then, of course, I'll Brawl Me Bro with D-Day later. I'm really looking forward to that because I think this will shine in games against somebody where you're talking because there are a lot of like fun RNG stuff. Like there's a lot of fun RNG stuff going on in here and it doesn't matter. You're not going to rage over it because it's just Tavern Brawl. But also, like, I think that the decks are balanced enough that you could try to like make interesting plays and win the game that way, right? So
absolutely.
I think they did. They kind of hit the nail on the head with this one. I think it's really well done. Yeah,
it's of the pre-made ones, probably my favorite next to Portals.
Okay.
I think I really like this for a pre-made deck Brawl. I had a very good time with it.
Out of the pre-mades, I think this is my favorite because the other pre-mades are even more RNG. Like just hoping that you get better cards to pop out of portals isn't quite as fun to me as having a bunch of like different stuff in my hand and making different decisions.
All the bombers.
I did like feel that while Annoy-o-Tron's hero power was much better, I think overall, the reason I think Boombot was slightly stronger is because if Annoy-o-Tron couldn't get anything on the board, the hero power sucked, right? Whereas you could kind of always get value. Even if nothing was on the board, your hero power as Boombot was essentially a hunter hero power, where you just hit face twice for 2 damage, right? So no matter what, you got something out of it, even though sometimes it was super frustrating that you could never hit anything. But
well, let's talk.
I don't know. So you guys, Dills, you mentioned like just some kind of like, oh crap, I can't remember what your point was now because it was a while ago. Anyways, have you guys noticed in, I don't know, this specific Brawl, maybe it's because I'm playing more in this Brawl, but people seem to be just BMing like crazy. Have you guys experienced that in Brawl this week?
Not.
I'm wondering if it's because it's not as competitive. Like people don't do it on ladder so much. I think because they're trying to like get through it, and no one's really trying to get through to the next Tavern Brawl. But like, I've had every single person that I've played against take like rope to the end of the turn and then play a whole bunch of crap, and like they clearly have lethal on board, but they're just like, here's all my stuff, and I'm like,
really?
This is Brawl.
I think I figured it out, Jocelyn. I think all of your games were against me, and it was me this afternoon after I would make my play, sitting there and reading everything and writing stuff down for this episode. I was trying to figure out. I was trying because I couldn't find a guide anywhere, so I was like, "Fine, I'll go make my own." And I was hovering over the hero powers, and I was recording everything I played, everything my opponent played.
I don't know. It didn't feel like that because then there was other time like they were specifically like attacking my minions and stuff when they could just hit face and like they were trying to get lethal in the most like BM way possible, and I'm just sitting there going, "This is Brawl. What are you doing?"
I know.
I have
we were
another.
supposed to have fun.
I have another.
That is ridiculous.
I have another counterpoint
it is
for you.
Brawl. Like, are you really that proud of your performance here, dude? Like that you gotta show off.
I have a counter to that. You say BM, I say fun. Maybe they were just wanting it to go out further. They wanted to see more of their deck. They wanted to see what absurd things they could make happen with the bizarre deck and the weird hero powers that they have. Because I definitely have that in Brawl. I want to kind of just keep the game going. And if I had one complaint about this Brawl, other than with all of the pre-made ones, it gets kind of old after a while. It was that the decks were almost too well made. If you curved out nicely, it was a really quick, normal game of Hearthstone, and I didn't get to really play around with the silliness.
No, I experienced this as well. Basically, you mulligan to get a curve, and if you get one, you're probably going to win because the other guy probably didn't get one, and then like again, your hero power is just terrible as Annoy-o-Tron and somewhat okay as, you know. So I think that's really like the way to win. If we want to talk strategy in this one, it's just try to get 2, 3, 4 in your opening hand. And then from there, it's like just play out the mechs you have. I don't know what else to say as far as strategy goes, right? Like,
yeah.
Did you guys find that experience? Like, it was just whoever drew better. Whoever like, got a good curve was just going to win the game.
It really did seem to come down. There were some particularly devious things you could do. Like, my very first game, I spawned it as Annoy-o-Tron, and I got the Micro Machine, you know, the guy that gets one attack at the beginning of everyone's turn. So I coined him out. The boom bot had no answer to it on the next turn. Then it came back to my turn. Then I just kept giving it Divine Shield. I want to say it took the Boombot 3 turns for his RNG of his hero power just to work out nice enough to actually kill the damn Micro Machine.
So if you coin Micro Machine out, basically his only real answer, because I don't think they have, there might be in the Boombot, there might be a Flame Cannon.
There's a Flame Cannon and a Dark Bomb.
So so if they didn't have the, there's a Dark Bomb too? Okay. So if they didn't have either of those things, they basically had to get perfect, 100% RNG on both Boombots hitting that guy. Or otherwise, you could have a growing, it's like essentially a shade of Naxxramas that you could just keep forever, right, at that point.
Yeah, that got really grossing out of control, but that only happened in my first game. After that, anytime that I tried to recreate that, the RNG would either work out in their favor or not necessarily with their hero power. They also have Mad Bombers and Matter Bombers. Those might work out in their favor and get rid of them. And a lot of times when I was playing Boombot, I found that I had Dark Bomb in my hand, so I could kind of fight against that as well. But yeah, if you didn't get that, and an Annoy-o-Tron would get the Divine Shield and the taunt up on a value minion, it could very quickly swing out of control.
Yeah, the Iron Sensei is kind of really key in this one for Annoy-o-Tron, is if you can get that protected behind something in some way, then it just, oh my god, it just snowballs like crazy. Yeah,
that was another win I had with Annoy-o-Tron, was because I protected my Iron Sensei.
Yeah.
So they did actually build these decks kind of interestingly. If you check them out, there's really like not a lot of removal in the Annoy-o-Tron's deck. It's kind of all about just getting the creatures on board and then using that shield to like protect them, and then they kind of feed into each other and continue to like just grow out of control, right? So once you actually gain board, you just are unstoppable because you got stuff like Iron Sensei, Enhanso Mechano is in there too.
Yes.
Cobalt Guardian.
Just another one of my favorites.
You got a lot of like minions that just kind of just can't be dealt with very easily, right? But then like on the other side, you've got all this like RNG stuff on the Boombot side. So like they really did like have a good flavor to both sides of this. It's an interest. I would love to like find out who it is on Team 5 now who has to build these decks and figure it out, and like what the thought process is behind all this stuff.
I'll ping them. I'll see if we can, for a Brawl episode, get an interview with whoever it is that builds
so
these.
Good.
It'd be such a fun. Oh man, I'd like to see that. Because no one does that stuff. No one has fun interviews anymore with Hearthstone. Everyone just wants to know about numbers and when the heck they're going to nerf Patron.
So another thing too, on the Boombot side, they even gave you a weapon with RNG.
Yeah, Boombot was RNG to hell and back. They got the Ogre Warmaul.
Yeah.
Which seemed so. If you go on Reddit, there's a pretty high upvoted post at the moment from the Cog77 and in there's a comment from Monkey Heroes that has a pretty concise list of all the cards in both decks, but it appears that it's a larger pool of cards that the decks are created out of, so you might not play with the same deck 2 times in a row if you play Boombot, which probably helped this be replayable.
Yeah, it slightly does, but the decks did to me feel mostly the same. Most of the games.
The example of Ogre Warmaul, I felt like I saw that from the Boombot almost every single Brawl I played.
Now I did notice that they actually do have Dr. Boom in the Boombots one. I never saw that. Apparently Godzilla could show up in both, but I never saw that.
Yeah,
you saw Dr. Boom?
I saw Dr. Boom not played against me, just came out when we were jousting. So they had whatever the little jousty
Wait,
dude
there's a joust card in here too?
Yeah, there's a joust card in here too. It's like the 1/2 that if you win the joust, it becomes a 2/3.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember which one I can't remember what it's called.
Okay,
anyway,
what do you guys? What are your guys' thoughts on not knowing everything about a Brawl? Like that, they don't put out what the deck list is or what the pool of cards that the decks are created from is. Like, do you like that? Do you not like it? Because I kind of lean towards. I think I like it because it's fun reading like the Reddit and like, oh no, this guy totally got a Godzilla, guys. I saw it. It happened. Like, I like that. I like that we're
cool.
not
There's
sure.
There's a sense of like community. Like and it has become a thing. Yeah, on Reddit now, people are compiling what the deck list might be. People are sharing little tidbits of information, and then there's probably a ton of people who don't ever look at Reddit and don't ever check any of this stuff out and just are surprised and they think it's kind of funny and weird, and that's fine for them too. So I think this is better. I don't really need a list to be provided to me when this stuff comes out. It kind of like would ruin what Tavern Brawl is to me, which is just like a weird random place where random crazy things happen.
It's like peeking at your Christmas presents early. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I'm also just like, I'm hopeful that we're just going to have a ton of new Brawls. Like maybe the ones that got repeated were because the new ones weren't ready, but it's starting to feel like, okay, they do have a lot of other ideas. And I was a little worried when we got to repeat that fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
That maybe there weren't that many Brawls actually out there, and we were going to be in this endless cycle of every month it's the same. It's like, oh, well, it's Portal Week again. And I'm excited that it's like, here we are. Here's another new one. And here's like this idea I think is really fun and interesting. And I wanted to get you guys to take what battles do you want to see happen? Like what 2 characters do you think
like the something versus something?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because like I was thinking about, I was like, Ysera would be awesome, where like you just keep like generating dream cards, and it would
be really cool to have some sort of like battle of the aspects or something where you could queue in and like be like either Alexstrasza or Ysera or Deathwing or and depending on which aspect you just randomly queued into, because that would make it a little bit different too, because you'd have like more than just 2 to pick from, right? So you've got, like Alexstrasza, Malagos, Deathwing,
really
Ysera, and Dormu. So you could have literally like 1 of 5 potential aspects that you queue in as, so no Brawl would be the same. Or, well, it would take a while to repeat that.
All right, well, that one's awesome. I like that. I want to see more stuff. Like, I like the idea of the legendaries, So now we've got the Paletriss. I think it would be cool to have something where, like, your hero power just summons a random legendary.
A random legendary? For 2 mana?
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's not what it already does.
That's kind of true, yeah.
That'd be wonderful.
I mean,
how would you counter that?
You'd give something incredibly powerful to the other side.
Yeah, who on earth could... I guess Rag, maybe, where it's just 2 mana to do 8 damage randomly anywhere, because that would pretty much kill any legendary.
Probably kill whatever it is. Let's see. Well, Varian Rin, you could say, like, hero power, put 3 of your cards onto the board. There you go.
Draw 3 cards, put any minions on the board. That'd be insane.
That would be crazy.
But
and they tweak
Brawl. Let's make it insane.
Yeah, and they do tweak it too, though, because I mean, I when I saw that the Boombot was the hero, I'm like, oh god, is its hero power do 1 or 4 1 to 4 damage? Like, is that really what it is? And then it's like, oh no, it's 1 damage to 2 random targets. But it can be the same target. I remember the first time that happened, I'm like, whoa, wait, what the crap? Hacks.
Yeah, but I saw that. It was like I had the Annoy-o-Tron had a Divine Shield and Taunted Minion, and then his face. And I was like, this is great because I'll pop the shield and then I'll do all the stuff, and then both hit face, and I was like, what? Damn it!
So,
which
That's not how it's supposed to work.
do you think 1 to 4 damage to one target would have been broken? Do you think that's why they changed that?
I think so. Yeah.
I think
Yeah?
probably,
I think they would have been incredibly strong.
Possibly, but I mean, like 25% of the chance it's going to be worse, like objectively worse, and then 25%. So 50% of the time it's going to be like the same or worse, and then 50% of the time it's going to be like kind of broken, right?
Yeah.
But still random. I don't know. I think it would have been okay.
There's
I
also
don't think it would have been. I'm sure they tested it and it is. But.
There's also an argument to be made that because Annoy-o-Tron's entire thing is Divine Shield, that if you were doing 4 damage to one target, the Divine Shield actually makes it kind of terrible.
You'd waste. Yeah, you'd be basically wasting.
So by
it a lot
doing
of the time.
2 single pings to 2 completely random targets, it's actually better, I think, in Divine Shield. If everything is Divine Shield, not everything in the deck is, and if you don't use your hero power, you're not going to get a lot of it.
No, that's a very good point. I mean, it was just like surprising to me because I looked at Annoy-o-Tron and I was like, oh yeah, this is Annoy-o-Tron, Taunt and Divine Shield, and I was like, wait, what is this? But I get it because it is like you have to kind of play in that space to actually make it all work. So it's cool to me that Blizzard is doing that.
By the way, I did not going into this episode see us getting like diving this deep into like the philosophy of the design, and I love it.
I think it's great.
This is a really cool conversation we're having.
I think this is probably how it's always going to be on Thursday. Like just to like pull the sheet back a little bit and expose what's going on here. We didn't really make a lot of show notes other than like. Here's a link to what cards are in there. This is what's happened so far. We just thought this was going to be conversational. I expected it to kind of go like this, but we didn't have real notes for this. We don't have segments. We got none of that. We're just here hanging out talking. It's pretty cool. I'm enjoying myself.
Hey man, I made notes. I was making notes as I played this morning.
Well, I was keeping track. By the way, what was your win records? Do you guys know win records?
I didn't keep
track,
close
no.
notes. I definitely won more than I lost, but
okay.
Did you guys get the quest for winning? Because I got the quest that was like win 5 brawls to get us. Yeah.
No.
I had win 3 games, and I had do 100 damage to the other guy, so I was getting stuff done, which was cool. Because it sucks if you had like a class-specific quest, right?
I got the cast 40 spells, which kind of suck because there's not a lot of spells in this deck, or either of these. So no, I think you just got a happy. Yeah, there's like happy accident.
Yeah. But I went 5 and 3, and all 3 of my losses. No, 2 of my 3 losses came with Annoy-o-Tron, and basically it was because
then Boombot's clearly OP.
Well, yeah, huge sample size. No, but all the losses were the same. I lost my board at some point, and then could never get it back because like I would play some crap out. Even if I was able to give it Divine Shield, just the fact the other guy had stuff he could attack with, plus 2 random Boombots, I just could never get anything to stick ever again. So I guess that's why I felt like Annoy-o-Tron was a little bit weaker.
Yeah. See, I was on the opposite end. I'd be sitting there as Boombot, and I'm like, oh yeah, they've got this great board. What am I gonna do? Come back from behind with Bouncing Blade?
Yeah. Well, okay. So Annoy-o-Tron actually doesn't have as many comeback cards either. If you notice, let me look here. So Boombot has Twisting Nether.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Bouncing Blades, which is potentially like fairly board clearish on its own.
Actually,
so that's kind of weird, right?
I would argue that, sir. It only potentially kill. Actually, it's not potential. It kills one thing.
Never going to kill one thing, but it can do a lot of damage to a lot of things, and then you can.
Your hero power might kill them. That's true. You're right.
But it was just I thought that was kind of an interesting design decision too. That the one that needed the board had no board clear at all. Like what would you do if you lost the board as Annoy-o-Tron?
I don't
know.
What
was the plan?
Well, clearly you would drop Enhancer Mechano because it's such a good card with nothing else on board, right?
Yeah, drop my 4 mana 3/2. That ought to do the trick. Here's another interesting one. Apparently, there's a Tinker's Sharpsword oil in the Annoy-o-Tron.
Never saw that. I got
that and then totally played it wrong.
Yeah?
I was like, oh yeah, the oil totally gives like attack to my weapon and my minion, and this is perfect. And then I played it, and I was like, crap combo.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. You don't play a lot of rogue, do you?
No, I don't play any rogue. I just know that rogue always wrecks me, and it's always because of oil. So I was like, yay, oil! Oh, that's not.
It's the win button, right? You just play it and you win.
Exactly.
So here's the list of weapons, by the way, too. They like barely have any weapons, so it's kind of hard. So they do have a King's Defender and a Cogmaster's
And
Wrench.
Coghammer.
But then there's they do have Coghammer too. You're right.
Yeah.
Then they also have Blingtron. That's their fourth weapon. Which I also
got Blingtron. I got Blingtron and I got a True Silver, and I was like, winning.
Man,
Who has a Blingtron? I never saw a Blingtron.
Blingtron is apparently Annoy-o-Tron.
Annoy-o-Tron, yeah. I had it played once against me, and I got to play it once.
Can we all agree that Power Word Glory is a terrible card even in these decks?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what cards don't make sense? Because there are definitely a few of them. That's one.
Twisting Nether is really weird. Yeah. I didn't feel like Twisting Nether really fit at all.
They also had Light Bomb too. Boombot had Light Bomb.
Well,
so,
at least it's a bomb.
At least it's like a mechanical thing that you would build.
Yeah.
Like Twisting Nether doesn't make sense. Recycle doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Which is just, to me, again, we got to get a dev on it. We got to be like, what is happening? How are these decisions being made? Because like, who was like, oh, you know what they don't have? They need recycle.
I guess you do recycle like aluminum.
Oh, I get. Okay, it's a play on words. That's a good. Oh my god.
I mean, it's
no,
reaching,
you're totally
mind blown. I think you're absolutely correct. That is totally
you're dead on. Oh my god, you and I are idiots.
Yeah, seriously. I feel really dumb right now. This makes total sense.
Oh
now Crush makes sense.
All right.
Now it's all starting to make sense.
All right, Jocelyn.
I still don't get Twisting Nether though. Don't ask me.
I'm gonna knock you out of your tower. Jocelyn.
Okay.
Now defend Gozrilla.
Oh, I knew that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah, so how's Gozrilla work in the Annoy-o-Tron one specifically? Like the Boombot one, you've got bouncing blades, right? So that's why Gozrilla.
No, I know, but it doesn't really it doesn't really
fit the fact that you're commanding a legion of shoddily made mechanical dudes.
Yeah. I got my Mech Bear Cat, I got my Zapomatic, got my Gozrilla. I'm ready to go to battle. It doesn't make sense.
The only thing I can think of is like whoever put together the deck is a huge fan of any of the Godzilla versus Mecha whatever series. That's the only thing.
There you go. That's why, because
Godzilla,
there's Mecha Godzilla
and like Mecha everything else.
All right.
Everything he kills at some point comes back as Mecha whatever it was.
See, these had to be just like inside jokes around a conference table, and they're like, "Oh, I know, what we'll do. We'll put in Gozrilla, like Mecha Gozrilla, and then hilarious, yeah."
Because reasons. There you go.
Well, there's a versus right there. Gozrilla versus I don't know, Voltron.
Okay, I'm in.
There's a versus I want to see.
Yeah, why is there not a Voltron in here?
Right?
Maybe.
Oh my god.
There could be, and no one's seen it yet.
Maybe.
You never know.
Because that
there you go.
seems like it would be perfect.
And
Gozrilla.
Yeah.
So, some of these cards are in both decks, which is interesting as well. But okay, so we just randomly blown through the entire allotted time we had for this episode. We should probably grade these at some point or have some sort of rating for these. What did you guys think overall?
Like A through F?
I guess.
No, not letters. Letters are boring. We have to come up with I don't know.
I'll give this. I like this one. I'm going to give it a shot and a beer.
But
right.
That's completely relative. What's the maximum and what's the minimum?
Figure out what that scale means to you.
Well, I'm going to give it handfuls of confetti. Woohoo!
All right. So Garrett, clearly you understand how the scale works now, right? After those two ratings.
Yeah. I would give it an enraged angry chicken, but the angry chicken has actually had its health buff, so it's not useless.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
So a buffed, enraged,
angry chicken.
Angry chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We could just do 4 out of 5 chickens or something like that.
Sounds that's boring.
That's boring.
So every week we're gonna pull a grade out of our ass that's completely relative.
Yes.
Okay. I'm down for this, by the way.
Decided.
I'm totally down for this.
When it's terrible, you can be like, I give this a stinky pair of socks. Whatever. You can just whatever you want to do.
This is great. This is perfect.
All right, perfect.
Oh, jeez. Oh man, I'm gonna start just grading it like based on other cards. So like if it's really good, I give this a Dr. Boom. If it's really bad, it's like I give this a Wisp.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like,
Yeah.
so
This totally works.
I'm sorry, actually, I give it a Bolster.
No, there you go. Worst rating in everything. Bolster.
Which, by the way,
well, Bolster's actually in one.
it's in one of these. It's in
yeah.
Annoy-o-Tron, which is good because
Annoy-o-Tron,
your hero power gives things taunts, but it's still not that good.
It still mostly sucks.
Yeah, you can't make Bolster good in a deck where you give free taunts out willy-nilly. That's, I'm sorry. Ugh, Bolster. Go straight to hell, Bolster. I'm sorry.
What we don't know is that Bolster is going to be like amazing in like 2 more expansions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When there's just so many minions that it's impossible not to have every single one have taunt and still be somewhat valuable.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I really tried to make that taunt warrior work, man, and it does not.
No,
it does not.
It's something I've wanted since Hearthstone was announced. I was like, oh, there's gonna be a warrior. Oh, that'd be really cool. You could have like a more aggressive like Fury warrior, and then you could have like a more defensive like taunt warrior. And it's like, no, you just have control and now patron. That's all you get. Have
control
fun.
Patron. Oh, although I now have, I finally did make what I think is a viable Juggernaut warrior, Iron Juggernaut. Warrior.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I totally I won more games than I lost with it, and
cool.
It's like it's just a fatigue warrior kind of just outlast you, but eventually you draw mines and I don't. So, and I have 70 health.
Okay.
So
I want to tinker around with a dragon warrior, and I don't mean like old control warrior where they just threw a couple dragons in. I want like actual, because Alex Ross's champion seems super cool.
Yeah.
And I just
haven't, like legit dragon, like a tempo dragon warrior that just has. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think that's out there somewhere.
Actually, got a golden Alex Ross's champion for my chest this morning.
Nice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Anybody else get cool stuff? I got golden Goral.
Oh damn,
nice.
That's nice.
Yeah. I got 3 goldens. I'm trying to remember.
So if you get to 5, you get an epic golden, and that's why like getting to 5 was actually kind of like important to me. I was like, get the golden epics because those are really hard to craft.
I remember. Oh, freezing trap. I got freezing trap.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Useful.
That was the only one that I kind of looked at and went, oh, I can actually put that in a deck.
Yeah. I
got golden eye for an eye last time, so they're totally trolling me.
Absolutely trolled.
It was literally the first ladder reward I ever opened was golden eye for an eye.
That's amazing. That makes me so happy. Well, awesome guys. Well, this was super fun.
Yes.
It was.
And as with anything new, I always go in kind of worried. I'm like, oh, I don't know how this is going to go. And I think this went really well. I'm anxious to see what our listeners will say so we can stop patting ourselves on the back. But
they're going to come and just be like, waste of time.
Yeah.
This is terrible. It's so awful, guys. Oh my God. But anyways, yeah, thanks. That's going to do it for this episode. As always, got to thank our patrons because this episode would not exist without them. You can become a TAC patron by going to patreon.com/TAC. This episode, because we're doing more in a week now. On this episode, we want to thank Lewis, Wes B, Shyler or Skyler. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that, and I know this person has told me how to pronounce it before, and I'm sorry I forget. Rob L and Christian JV, thank you all so much for being patrons of the Angry Chicken. We really appreciate it. Also, if you listen to us on iTunes and you haven't left us a review, do so now. Go. What are you waiting for? Drop us a review. We really appreciate it. As always, Angry Chicken is produced by amove.tv, frogpants.com, and our Patreon producers, Declan H, LVE, and Topher L. Our past live shows and other videos can be found on youtube.com/amovetv. Our t-shirt is on /loot.com. Follow us on Twitter at TAC Podcast. Follow us on Facebook /amovetv, and we're also on Reddit at tacpodcast.reddit.com. That's going to do it for now. Catch the live show, twitch.tv/amovetv, Alpha Geek Radio, all that jazz. Dills, where can folks find you?
Pretty much the only thing I'll pimp today is my Twitch, because I'll probably be streaming later tonight. And anybody who was there the other night, I can't wait to talk to you guys about this on the Prime episode, but Major Domo has a viable deck, you guys. And it is awesome. It is the funnest deck ever.
That's the funnest deck ever.
I'll tell you guys all about it. There's a highlight on my Twitch if anybody wants to see that. I'll probably play more of it.
Oh, okay.
Twitch.tv/WillieDillsSF. I'll just give you a preview. You end the game by shooting off 7 to 8 Ragnaros bolts, and that's how you win.
Wow.
In one turn. Yes. It's epic.
Oh, jeez. I think I heard you mention this on your... I saw a little bit of you and Kyle and Azax and folks playing Heroes the other night, but I want to say you mentioned it briefly there or something. But...
Yeah, so this was a deck made by Dog, I think. I think Dog made it. I don't know. But Koldara Drake, Major Domo, Maiden of the Lake. There you go.
Bring it
Wreck face.
on. Yeah. Oh, I'm so in on it. Jocelyn, how about you? Where can folks find your stuff?
Best place to find me and everything I do is over on Twitter @JossPlays. It's actually the same as my Twitch channel. We're going to be streaming with the community later tonight for Gamers in Game Night, so that's going to be super fun. And got some new stuff going on that I might be able to talk about later tonight or tomorrow. So exciting!
Okay. I know what's going on. Like,
I know you.
How are you not allowed to talk about this?
Well, I don't know. It's not my thing. I'm just doing a thing. With a thing.
Okay, all right. Okay, fine. If you're going to be all reclusive about it. You can follow me on Twitter @GarrettArt, where I tell you exactly what's going on, unlike other people.
No secrets here.
No secrets here, especially if you go listen to the Angry Nerd show that I do. It's just me talking about all my insecurities, and this week also Doctor Who. So go check out the Angry Nerd.
That's a weird mix.
amove.tv/angrynerd. nomoonart.com for my graphic design work, and on Into the Nexus in 2 hours. See you soon, guys. Check out our sponsors, DockOutSystems.com. Use the code TAC. You get a free solid-state drive. We thank them for their support. We thank you for listening. We will see you Monday for the next Tech Prime episode. Until then, job's done.
Job's done.
Job's done.
Yes!
Hello. Goodbye.